This area is known as Bottom River.
Because the river is just down here, no?
Yes, and it is referred to as the bottom of Augustown, but we who live here and know the history know that it is the first part of Augustown. This area was first occupied by runaway slaves from the Mona plantations and those other surrounding plantations.
That's so.
Yes. And it was also used as a burying ground for slaves.
People started free communities here before the Freedom Paper was signed. And after freedom came, many freed people from the Mona estate came to settle in the Augustown area. The place was known as African Hill at first. Later, it was renamed Augustown. Have you ever wondered why? Because both the abolition and emancipation were proclaimed on August 1. August was a month associated with freedom, and apparently the name Augustown was given to the community when full freedom came, with the ending of the apprenticeship system on August 1, 1838. Another interesting historical note about Augustown is that the popular religious leader Alexander Bedward made his headquarters here between 1891 and 1921. He started a native Baptist church here, and thousands of people turned to him, some coming from as far away as Cuba and Central America. We'll hear more about Bedward in a little while. Augustown lies behind the University of the West Indies at Mona. It is made up of several communities such as River Bottom, Bedward Pastures, Hermitage and Goldsmith Villas. The Hope River flows through the eastern section of the community. This is the home of Mr. Dean Roden, scoutmaster, furniture maker, and chairman of the Hermitage Neighborhood Watch.
Over the years, at once, Hermitage was very isolated, but for the past, from like in the 80s, we have started to highlight ourselves, in the sense that we have started like scout group. We have also had a public bus to come in the community, which is the 90B, and one get to know the community more. Hermitage it's a small, not much of a business community. It's more like a lot more resident, quiet. Now what we have a general problem that affects the whole country, because even at one stage there was a lot of crime that used to take place, not from people within the community, That was like the early part of 80. But once we have started the neighborhood watch, we find that it has eliminated, so that there's not much crime right now in the community. Arising from the scout troop, we had our guys to represent Jamaica on more than one occasion.
So where you meet?
We meet at the basic school, presently now up by the road. I've been to Connecticut. We have teach woodwork also, and I teach leatherwork.
We had a look at Mr. Roden's souvenir corner, adorned with trophies and photographs of his scouting activities.
He's one of my second man, Paul. He's the guy that's in charge when I'm not here.
But you must have some problem there.
Presently nowadays the dome, which poses a bit of problem.
Where's the dome?
It's up by the base, behind the basic school. Hermitage is a well-developed community because we have public phone. We also have a lot of private phone. The Labor Day, the youths, the sport club, member of the sport club, they came out and they have actually make fixed patrol on most part of the road. And there are circumstances where they used to say they were speeding. And those guys build like a sleeping policeman just to eradicate speeding. We have a park, but the park has been deteriorated over the years.
The park? There's not nobody that look after it. Then used to a man come here and find that nobody, me not see nobody.
How long the park been,
So how long? The park they have long time.
So what they using the park for now?
Crusade.
Morning, man. having a look at your school. How are things going? It's a typical day for you? Friday?
No, not really. The dump is a real problem. And where school is concerned, during school sessions, you have, like at lunchtime mainly, they choose to light the rubbish, and the smoke would come in and affect the children very bad. Sometimes we have to send them home before time.
Things are better now, no?
No, not really.
You haven't spoken to them?
Yes, time upon time. Sometimes we have to phone for the fire brigade to come and out the smoke.
And this is what the sport club, the youth club from the community did for Labor Day. This is they plant the tires, both 2 tires, and plus, coconut.
And the coconut?
And the fence was literally down on the ground. And that was the youth club project. This is also a very vibrant young person. He's also a member of the association. And he was the one who actually went for those coconut thing and organized the planting of the tires.
We as younger folks feel that we can make a contribution towards the community and put it back towards the community. So I really sit down and say, well, the school needs some coconut trees, and we decide to go and get them down by the coconut board. The plans we have for the community at this moment is to refurbish the community center and put some lights on the play field so that we can have some football competition in the nights.
Mr. Graham Haynes, who is helping August Town citizens to set up a community action committee, took us into the heart of August Town. There we were to meet Mrs. Clunis, who heads the action committee. On the way, we came upon this roadside food stand, which specializes in crabs. We hadn't seen anything like this for a long time.
I'm washing crabs, sir. Then for them, I wash the crabs.
You have something for lunch there, what?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man, we have rice and peas and chicken.
And this is corn.
Do it every day?
Yes, we do it every day. We bought it downtown.
You bought it in town live like that?
Yeah.
From who?
The crab people, they must sell
I
crab.
see them there washing them with a toothbrush.
You're not afraid to bite you?
No.
Why?
Anil, put him down together. Put him down. Anil, put him down.
We found Mrs. Clunis just up the road from the crab sellers.
We're actually in right now trying to put some outreach programs for August Town to build back the community to what it was before. This is in association with the National Drug Abuse Center, and so we're in the process now of launching our organization or our community.
Mrs. Clunis introduced us to Mr. Buchanan, who is one of the leading authorities on Bedwood.
The originator was a man that based himself in Spanish Town. I don't even know where he was born. Named H.S. Woods. They call him Shakespeare. And he was the man who actually brought about the whole consciousness of this August Town settlement here. He didn't even start here. He started in Dallas Castle.
Down by the mountain there?
Over the mountain,
Yes.
yeah. He left Dallas Castle and arrived here in August Town, somewhere just before the 1900s. And it's after some time before Bedford now got into the picture as merely a follower of this Woods.
Of Woods?
Of Woods.
Right, a disciple?
Yes, as a disciple. So some years, about some 5 or 7 years in Woods ministry, in August Town, he was ordained now.
Bedwood?
Yes, ordained by the same Woods, which is called Shakespeare. And after Woods found that he was a man of such quality, Woods slackened up his activities in August and went back to Spanish Town. He left it in the hands of Bedford. And Bedford now, he had his deacons, his followers, his various people, and he founded a mass movement here. He left the movement and went to Costa Rica along Central America there about 3 times. But he claimed that in spite of the good payment and better working conditions, he couldn't stay there. He was motivated to return to Augusttown repeatedly. And he came to Augusttown and he founded this, he acquired this place somehow, called it Union Camp. the whole of this compound and went right back to it. And then found that Bedford Church, which you people will have a look at the remains of it now. He said he did not hire an architect or anybody to build. He just a spirit directed him, and he got a bunch of his followers and some outsiders and built a monumental thing early in the 1900s and called it Bedford Free Baptist Temple, which is Free Baptist Church. After he built the church now, he spread his word, and people came almost on foot from almost every parish in the country. He was a very dynamic personality, very dynamic. And I understand his healing potential was very extensive. And some chemists at the time came to bury down the bottom to test the water. And they said the only medicine that they didn't find in it, that was what I was told, of course, was castor oil. In that pool, in the pool. Yes, the pool.
Bedford attracted such a large following that the colonial authorities began to get worried. The colonial police began to harass him, and he was arrested, but was released in 3 days, as he predicted. In 1921, he was arrested while leading his followers on a march into Kingston. He was put into the asylum, where he died several years later. Bedford became a legend in his lifetime. The legend remains strong in Augustown. Mr. Buchanan took us to Bedford's old home and to the ruins of the church which he built.
This was his original home, the home of Bedford. This building is unique because, first of all, he claimed to have done it out of a vision. And as you noticed, those columns, wooden columns, they are being carved, was carved by his own workmen, who they say also was inspired. And looking at the structure and along the southern section there, southern wall here, you will notice that there are river stones. There is no cement work, just lime, and I don't know if it's dung or clay, but no cement. And also no steel. And this thing endured several hurricanes, you know. Charlie did very little damage to it. Gilbert did the greater part of the damage. And I don't know how much damage earthquake did, but inside there, you notice that he designed this church to hold from 10 to 15,000. That was his idea. And but after it had become destroyed now, you find that that is it. But this structure, it went right up in the air and had a sort of French roof there, you know. But the hurricane damaged it just most recently.
Up until today, the survivors of Bedford's congregation still gather to worship, not in the ruined church, but in Bedford's old home. For some reason, our guide couldn't open the door at first. Was Bedford denying us entry? Finally, the key turned.
Carry me when
Buchanan was kind enough to take us to the river to show us where the baptisms took place. The pool is much smaller than it used to be. Small boys were having a great time in the water. Further up the river was a kind of spring coming out of the hillside.
From a youth and come down here, come live. There's some people, some old people about the place. Bedward was a great man and everything there. We used to plant up some crushes and everything there alongside the place and thing. And people them come and catch water and we take water from here and drink water. So Bedward was a man who used to come down here and wash off him people them and say a nice water to drink.
It's a healing.
It's a healing water. So everybody just come from into the community and catch water here and drink. Well, here sir, we will come and bathe still. The water never dirty. Night, anytime you come, the water feel like ice water.
We crossed the river and went up to Bedward Flats, where we met Nimrod Thomas.
Over here, the past where the government kind of condemned it, like, So it was a past. It's capture we captured. I was the first one who come over here in 1967 and capture a piece of this land here. And I get a lot of fight. Several houses are lit down over here for me. Say I'm a capturer and I can't stay here because this land belongs to Water Commission. I born as a farmer. I just love farming. I have a big farm up in the hills there too, going back to our viewing,
Oh yes?
They walk this way and go up there. Plant a lot of corn, cowpeas and gungo and etc. So I want to continue to farm.
Did you have any relatives at all who were associated with Bedward?
Bedward is a man. Bedward is just like a prophet. See, because as far as I know, a man second to Marcus Garvey, He tell you things about things that can happen, that never happened in people inside and a couple of years ago after those things take place. So people start to respect that man, Well, I have some colorless, pumpkin. They are so small. But I have to go in the bushes. Do what I really want to do,
The school is a center for some of the activities of the Augustown Community Action Group. There we met Mrs. Daphne Nelson of the Drug Abuse Secretariat, who is in charge of the Augustown project.
We're trying to improve the quality of life of persons in and around the community. We want to get them to realize that it is good to come together to assess their own areas of weaknesses, their own areas of strength, and for us to facilitate the process of total development. We think that we have to collaborate with other agencies in the area to look at what the community would call their own vision of development and to assist in facilitating the process so that down the road they can say this is their program. In this regard, the Augustown community had come together and over a 4-day period they planned a program based on the areas of need, the problem areas that we have picked up, and they have come together to share and to tell us where the problems are and to develop a 2-year program. And I know they have a problem too of land acquisition and really settling down on their own land. And these are some issues that we've been looking at. To say nothing about the environment, they also see the environment as a particular area of need in which they want to clean up. We also think that we should also facilitate the history of this area with Bedward and Bedwardites. And the whole area, I think we could have a focus on tourism because a number of persons have been wondering where to find some Bedwardites, where to find the history. And I think in this place we could, it is teamed with a lot of history. This place we could really develop some type of tourist resort when people coming in to get more information on Bedwardism.
We are in a serious problem with the fencing. We have goats, pigs, and the idlers come over, interrupt the things. that the children plant, you know, the flowers and all those things. But we try to alleviate that problem by getting the people in the community to use the school. So if they are involved in games, they get the chance, the compound to use. We have our school fair, sports, people from the community come in. I'm prepared to work along with the drug awareness group because I want to ensure that the guys or the young boys in the community do not just waste their energy, time by resorting to the drugs and so forth.
It was open day at the school when we went there. Some of the artwork of the young students were proudly displayed in one of the classrooms.
Sandpiper, pedo, brown dog, loggerhead, black chichibodo, white belly, chickman, nightingale, guinea hen, parrot, white wings, chichibodo, chichibodo.
The singing group was eager to sing their favorite folk song, which had a very practical message.
Lizzie Jane should have married long ago, but her daddy never liked Mr. Joe. Him see my walk one day with him head all on my ground, and him clothes like them hang up on one nail. If you follow that old man, you never married. If you follow that old man, you never married. Mr. Joe board the train and left Lizzie Jane, so she puffed, so she holla, so she ball. So all you young ladies who have planned your wedding day, keep your eyes on your husband to be. Advise him to walk with him head in the ear and the clothes upon him the proper way. If you follow that old man, you never married. If you follow that old man, you never married. Mr. Joe board the train and left Lizzie Jane, so she puffed, so she holla, so she ball.
You specialize in cooking breakfast, sir?
Yes, sir.
Look, man. You want to see the pan TV? Want to see me? Oh, tell me what thing. Let's try them here in the bar. You can pass this.
And move to go away and who feel married, you know, everything go on. All right.